You are now live with Dylan Kimlin.
Hello everyone, Dylan Kimlin here and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today's episode is on a topic that's quite close to my heart and I really want to dive into it because I think this is something that we as a sporting body across the scene can improve on, and that of course is live streaming and broadcasting. Why do we do it? I'm going to delve into it in quite length. We're going to look at historical viewership numbers across the years, as well as tournaments that do it, tournaments that don't do it, and the general benefit of live streaming. Obviously, before I dive into it, like, subscribe, follow the YouTube channel, as well as my Instagram and Facebook pages if you have not already. As always, do a little t-shirt time before I dive into the main crux of the video. Today's t-shirt is from the Yeppoon Pickleball Festival. So this is an incredible tournament. So these guys I've broadcasted now for several years. I'll be going down, or rather up to Yeppoon, not too far away, later in the year. And it's a great example of a tournament that has stuck with broadcasting and their numbers have just exploded. They continue to grow massively. And I'm super proud to wear this uniform. I wear it everywhere. Even at Padel tournaments, when I travel internationally, I'm always wearing the festival t-shirt because it not only is a great top, but it just showcases a community that's had belief in my line of work. So vice versa, I'll do everything I can to promote them. Please, if you haven't yet, have a look at the Yeppoon Pickleball Festival. So today's topic, we're going to look into broadcasting of the Australian pickleball scene. Now, as someone that has effectively pioneered it, I started doing it years ago with Gordon Watson. It was really nice, actually. In the Sydney Grand Slam this weekend, I got to sit down with Gordy and we just commentated together again. It's been quite a while since we've done that. And we just both shared a moment like, this is nice. Like, this is old school broadcasting media. I've got a lot of time for Gordon Watson. He's a wonderful man. And he does media work as well. Please go and have a look at his stuff. Because, yeah, just constantly promoting positivity in the Australian pickleball space. But we started broadcasting quite a long time ago. And you look at where it was then compared to where it is now, it's pretty crazy. The growth is just outrageous. In the 2 or 3 years that we've dived into it, it's blossomed. And so has the Australian pickleball scene. Now, Jen Rammer Murphy, obviously the president of Pickleball Australia, told me when I first started broadcasting that it was both a blessing and a curse what I was doing. She didn't tell me to stop, but she said, Dylan, our numbers are growing too much and you are a part of that problem. And it's due to people knowing where tournaments are. Obviously, you know, we have the Pickleball Australia website with all the sanctioned tournaments and where they're on, rah, but the continuous growth of a tournament, I think, and obviously I'm biased here, I think the broadcast has a lot to do with it. Media has a lot to do with it. Videography, photography has a lot to do with it. People sharing stuff on social media, highlight reels and clips is so important. And a lot of it stems from the broadcast. It all starts from the broadcast. So this is something that I'm going to use how do I word it? I'm going to use terminology here that might be a little bit demeaning. Okay. I had to train the market. So what that means is when I first started broadcasting years ago, we would only get 20 to 30 viewers across an entire, 5-hour stream. And it's because at that point in time, no one wanted to watch pickleball in Australia. You know, they would rather watch AFL, rugby, cricket, netball, basketball, whatever your sport may be, tennis. People would rather watch that. So rather than watching pickleball, they were spending time on their favorite sports. And it's taken years for people to start actually wanting to watch pickleball. In the States, we are seeing steady growth of viewership. But over there, I personally think they've done it wrong in that they are they have a huge market. They have so many people that play pickleball over there, but they don't stream like anything. There's a couple of big leagues that do events, but that's about it. And we are quite lucky here in Australia that we have a lot of state titles broadcasted, local club events broadcasted. Your nationals, like APC last year was incredible. I imagine it will be again this year. We're constantly putting out content. This is my full-time job. I have quite literally thousands upon thousands upon thousands of hours just on Pickleball Australia YouTube, and I'll put up pictures as we're going along. Broadcasting for you guys. Now I do anywhere between a 5 to a 14-hour day each day at a tournament, broadcasting for you all at home. And it's for the love of the game. It's because I want you all to be represented on the courts, and I love doing it. It's a cool job. But the point I'm making is we are lucky that this occurs. Other countries don't do it, and as a result, they're quite behind in regards to getting viewership on their streams. So where we are now in comparison to back then is, I would say it's healthy. We're in a healthy state of growth. Now, I did a video recently. Please go and have a look at that video. I'll put a thing up. Just talking about the growth of the sport in general. This correlates with the broadcasting space as well. Our numbers have steadily grown. Now, when I go to a tournament, the number one thing, and this is especially tournaments that haven't broadcasted yet, the first question they ask is, how can we make money from this? And that is a mentality that I think, that kind of needs to change. I'm a tournament director. I was a tournament director for a long time. I understand that tournaments typically either break even or just make a little bit of profit. Okay. That was back then when we had 100 to 200 players a tournament. Now we're getting 500 plus. There's revenue there. Like, let's face it, the numbers are there. And prices to enter these tournaments can continue to go up. So for a sport that is effectively run by volunteers, I've been saying for quite a while now that this needs to change and we need to start treating it like a business. So when people ask me, will this make money? It will, but not in the way you're thinking of it. So there's two main ways that a broadcast will provide revenue for a tournament. The first one is obvious, in sponsors. Okay. So if you're a tournament director and you go to I'm not going to name anyone, let's just say a paddle brand. Hey, we would like you to sponsor our tournament. What is the benefit for a paddle sponsor to do that? What do they get out of it? Okay, so they might get naming rights. It might be the paddle name, 2025 location open. Okay, that's usually what happens. What else do they get out of it? They might get a stall at your tournament. They might be able to provide gifts. They might give you a ball or a T-shirt, something to put into a goodie bag. Besides that, what else does a paddle or a sponsor get out of it? And it's something that I've spoken to a lot of sponsors over the years. They really need to use the broadcast. So you look at the broadcasts over in the States, they are hounded by advertisements because that is how a sponsor can get value for their product. The way I see it is a broadcast is a conduit for the sponsor to get to the viewer. Okay, and we're in the middle. Tournaments, please, whether you're using my services or anyone else in the country, please use your sponsors correctly. And sponsors, if I'm being dead honest with you, a lot of you guys need to pull your finger out and make videos. I've done so many videos over the years for sponsors that have chucked several grand to a tournament and then they just don't do anything. It's like, guys, we're trying to promote your product. Give me a video, give me a picture, something I can put up so we can talk about it. And that's something from a learning perspective that I feel both sponsors and tournaments can really improve on. okay, is just general marketing. Advertise your stuff, advertise your tournament. I've said to so many tournament providers over the years that, let's say a state championship, guys, why don't we do a little clip on all of your clubs? How are your clubs doing? Give me a club update. We'll use it as a advertisement. How's your rankings going for the AR events? Who won the gold medal in your last tournament? This is all stuff we can use. So I really think broadcasting in Australia anyway is not fully utilized. And until tournaments and sponsors both cotton onto this, we'll see continuous steady growth, but it could be significantly more. Now, the second part, and probably the most important way for a tournament to earn revenue from a broadcast, is not the way you would think of it. It's actually the exponential growth for your next event. So we have historical evidence here of events that refuse to use a broadcast because they're stuck in the 1800s versus events that do use the broadcast. The numbers do not lie. The ones that broadcast, their numbers the following year skyrocket. Yet there are tournaments in well-known towns and cities that refuse to broadcast that are just stuck, capped. Their numbers don't grow. Now, you could say, Dylan, the growth of pickleball isn't just on the broadcast, and you would be right. Okay, the sport's gone berserk. I give you that. But for tournaments to grow, you need self-marketing. You need media to put it out there. Gone are the days where tournaments can just rely on people taking pictures. Oh, look, we won a gold medal at this club tournament. That doesn't count anymore because you're competing with 52 other tournaments in the year. PAA have told me they're effectively this year was a tournament every single weekend in 2025. Next year it's going to be worse. And I really want to do a video on scheduling, by the way. That'll be coming up. But for your tournament to succeed, you need to try and provide an experience that other tournaments are not. It's why the Yeppoon Pickleball Festival is so successful. It's an incredible event. The broadcast is just another avenue for you to provide for your tournament something that is not used elsewhere. Okay, it's another, and most importantly, it's a marketing tool. Tournaments that do use a broadcast have significant growth the following year. And that's undeniable. We've got the numbers on the Pickleball Australia YouTube channel. By the way, go and follow that if you haven't yet. I have so many hours of footage on this channel. It's kind of weird. I don't own this channel, but it's kind of my little baby because 99% of it is my work. We've reached 1,250 subscribers, which is really cool, which is another little point I want to bring up because people look at a live stream of, 4 hours and they'll be like, oh, Dylan, it's got less than 1,000 views. Okay. We have how many members in Pickleball Australia? Okay. Comparatively, it's a pretty good percentage of people actually watching the broadcast. Now, once again, what people do is they think we are competing with the likes of an AFL or a rugby, cricket, whatever. And we are. But from a percentage of how many people actually play pickleball in tournaments, we do really well. Like, I really want to stress that. We do very well. And it will continue to grow. The broadcast will continue to get bigger. A aspect of what tournaments use the broadcast for is also for council grants. So you want to take your club, bump it up. People use live footage all the time. Hey, can we use this footage to send it off to council, get grants, etc., etc. Very common. You don't use a broadcast or live streaming, there goes that opportunity. I have found recently that for whatever reason, tournament providers have decided to go backwards. They're deciding we don't want the live stream, we don't want, or we will do one, but at a bare minimum. And not only do the numbers suffer, but it genuinely makes Australian pickleball look cheap. We look tacky. We're getting commentary people in that they're just pulled in. It's something you need training in. I've trained so many players across the years, and I love doing it, by the way. If you are a player that's been dragged into the commentary booth, please reach out. I'll teach you for free. For me, it's about what's improving the viewership of the game from what is good for the viewers at home. Okay, it benefits everyone. But there's so many times where broadcasts are the bare minimum because it all comes down to money. Now, I can tell you straight up, my broadcast is cheap as chips compared to other ones we've had in the past. I've commentated for big events. You're looking at 20 to 40 grand plus for one weekend. And then it goes higher than that. There's ones that are way more expensive than that. You don't need to have a $20,000 broadcast, okay? And I think some of you guys, especially tournaments at home, you might expect the prices to be that high. They're not. Okay. Players at home have no idea. They just expect, it's just a phone and a tripod or a camera with a microphone. Just hop out there and commentate for 7 hours. But the players now almost expect a broadcast. You guys wouldn't believe the amount of backlash I receive from tournaments. Let me rephrase that. I receive backlash when a tournament doesn't broadcast, even though I have nothing to do with it. It's like, I would love to broadcast that event, or I hope someone else is broadcasting that event. But at the same time, for whatever reason, they've decided that the negative attention is worth, they just don't want to fork out a couple of grand, if that. So tournaments, I think it's almost expected now for our tournament providers, tournament committees. It is almost expected that your events are broadcasted. Now, that I have to make it abundantly clear, I don't care if I'm doing it. This is what benefits your tournament. You need to have someone doing it, and you need to have commentary for it. Okay? Because if you try and cheap out, it's going to hurt your tournament in the long run. Now, Pickleball Australia YouTube, I'm going to bring it up as we're talking along. We can start looking at the historical growth of the channels, okay, and the views. So I've just got one up here. We've got, this is 2022. So really not that long ago. We have QPT event at Beanley. You're looking at around, on average, anywhere between 100 to 300 viewers. There's, you get the general gist. We had the 6-0 Open, the Brisbane Teams Challenge at Brisbane Pickleball Club. You can see all of the numbers are generally around that lower end, okay? We have occasional ones that go up to like 500. Now, that is several years ago, okay? So, if we have a look at our most recent streams, so I did the South Australian Championship. Now, keep in mind, this is on the Pickleball Australia YouTube channel. I recently did the Sydney Grand Slam, and our numbers were through the roof. But SA Champs, we had great numbers, like solid across the board, and those viewers are going to come back. Like, I want you to think about that. People have, so we've got even just one of these, right? Over 700 viewers. There is an incredibly high chance that quite a high number of those viewers will want to sign up to the SA Cup next time. And that is, to go back to my original point, the two ways of a broadcast to make revenue. This is the second one, in that people that see the broadcast will then want to play it next year. It's an ongoing benefit, okay? And the Yeppoon Pickleball Festival is a great example of this. Their numbers just continue to skyrocket. So, SA Cup, we've already gone up, considering it's been a couple of years, and our views are significantly increased. Vic Open, right? We're in the thousands. We've got QPT Gold Coast. that's in the thousands. We've got Dingfest was really cool. That's a good example, actually. I did that down in Port Macquarie. That's a good example of a tournament that tried their broadcast for the first time. We'll see if I do it again next year. I'd love to do it, by the way, Dingfest crew. But their numbers will go up. Guarantee it. The New South Wales, that part of New South Wales is booming. Their numbers will be significantly higher next year. APC, these are generally across the board within the thousands, 1,000 plus. So you can see that it's an example of events that continually, the views continually go up. Okay. And the good thing about YouTube as well is that people go back to watch it. So your sponsor pays you let's say $1,000. They get basically lifetime viewership on the YouTube channel. People will go back and watch it all the time. Happens all the time. So once again, tournaments, you need to talk to your sponsors about this and make it clear to them. Like, hey, it is a continual investment. It's a one-time thing, but the viewership is always there. Okay. Now, what I want to bring up is events that have historically never streamed and where they are at. And this one's going to hurt me to say it, but I'm going to call out Townsville. So, I love Townsville, by the way. I'm at Townsville next weekend. QPT Townsville have, for whatever reason, never broadcasted. They are anti-broadcast. Don't think it's worth it. Their tournament numbers have never grown substantially. QPT Townsville have, I talk to just about everyone in the country. Hey, what tournaments are you thinking of going to? What's a big event you want to get involved in? Townsville's never in that discussion. Yet Yeppoon is. Now I want you to think about that. Yeppoon is near Rockhampton. It's not exactly easy to get to. You can fly to Rocky, I suppose. Most people drive up. It's not a tournament that is... It's a little bit of a mission to get to it. Townsville's super easy to get to. You compare the two, okay? Yeppoon's numbers are capped. It has exploded this year. Yeppoon's festival, they've always tried to do a unique experience for the viewer and the spectator, the player. So the two towns are both touristy coastal towns. Townsville's significantly larger, way easier to get to. And Yeppoon have, admittedly, they've got amazing courts, but they're just a little coastal town. But they just provide an amazing experience, and that includes the broadcast. For whatever reason, Townsville's numbers, they're just not there. I just mentioned Dingfest in Port Macquarie. They will have significantly larger numbers next year. Guarantee it. And I've got the picture up here of the they have had growth, but it's tiny. Okay, and if we bring up Yeppoon, look at that. It is since we started in 2022. So I think I did. So I've done 2023 and 2024 as my broadcast. The numbers have just skyrocketed. Okay, and now the one that's in this year, which I've noticed isn't popping up on brackets for some reason. Oh, because I'm looking at past events. So if we go to just not past events, please. Here we go. 400 players. So they've gone from, and I'll put this all up for you. You look at how much they have increased. 400's nuts for Yeppoon. Well done, Yeppoon. And it's a great example. I'm not taking the credit. I'll take a percentage of the credit. It's a great litmus test of why we broadcast. It benefits your future tournaments. Okay. I have so many discussions with clubs that they just see that their tournament has had 700 views or something. They're like one day, a Friday or Thursday or something. And they're like, Dylan, this doesn't cut it. It's like, guys, if that one stream has convinced 40 people to play in your tournament next year, you've already paid it off. And then your Saturday stream you get another 40 people. Sunday stream, you get another 40, you get the gist, right? Clubs that broadcast have expansion, like just significantly larger growth the following year. And we have pretty much every tournament that I've covered has an example of that. I am a little bit defensive on this. As I said, this is my baby. I try and promote broadcasting for the player as much as I can. But it's so tricky because obviously for the viewers at home, you guys would just be like, Dylan, a broadcast should be covered for the player. It's a service to the player. And yeah, you're right. We haven't even talked about that yet. Not only do you get all of this growth and revenue from a broadcast, but you also get the fact that you're servicing your players. But I can guarantee you players, tournaments don't care about that. Pretty much guaranteed every single time, how can we make money from this? It's the first thing that comes up. And that is a mentality that I originally was really sad with. I was like, guys, come on. It's for the love of the game. We want it should just be, to me personally, you have your tournament directors, you have your referees, and tournament staff, obviously, in that. You have your venue expenses, food, water, whatever, broadcast, and media. To me, it should be it's a essential thing for your tournament. And I really hope that tournaments start to understand this, because the tournaments that refuse to broadcast, as we've seen, they don't grow. They're stuck. And this is just me trying to make it a bit more clearer for you all. Additionally, if you're a player and you go to a tournament, do you as a player expect it to be covered? Do you expect, hey, if I'm playing in a 19 plus gold medal, I expect to be on a broadcast. I want to be able to show my kids at home or my parents, my friends, family, whoever. It's a service that I think is nearly essential. We've started to see broadcasts. How do I word it? If a broadcast isn't good, there's hell to pay. There's been recent events that I haven't worked at where so many people message me about, and it's like, guys, I'm not working it. Stop messaging me. Like I have nothing to do with it. But additionally, on the events that I do work, we can fix it. Like I did the NPL Green Zone with Ash Williams recently, and my goodness, what an incredible, our numbers were just crazy. But we had feedback like, hey, this particular thing is too bright, or this particular thing is too loud. Can we please change that? We've given the feedback to the broadcaster. It's happened immediately. It's an example of the viewer has given feedback for a better experience for themselves, and we've fixed it. I want you to think about that. How many other sports can you do that in? Could you imagine if you were watching a rugby or an AFL, tennis, and you're like, geez, let's use tennis. Geez, I don't like how the players are constantly grunting and yelling on the court. I wish we could turn the volume down a little bit. Cool. Good luck. If there's an AFL or rugby and they've got gambling commercials all over it, geez, I don't like this. I wish we could get rid of it. Good luck. There was a massive thing about it all. Didn't help anything. So we are lucky in that we can change things that will benefit the viewer. Okay, tournaments, you have just about complete control of what you can put on the live stream. Of course, it's got to be adhere to Pickleball Australia policy and procedures, but they're pretty cruisy. You know, you just can't say racist or sexist stuff on stream, which is totally fair. Okay, I think I really, really just want to put a thing out to tournaments. Please reach out to me or Pickleball Australia. If you want to learn how to fully utilize your advertisements and your sponsors, let us know, because this is something that your tournaments can dramatically improve on. If I'm a sponsor, well, let's put it that way. Put that hat on. If you're a sponsor, if you're providing several $1,000s to a tournament, what do you expect out of it? I think tournaments don't do this. What do you expect? What do you want to get out of it? Because so many times I've seen tournaments just use it. They're like, oh yeah, it's just a service. We're not even going to put a banner up. We're not going to put commercials. We're not going to mention them. And as a result, and we know this, there are several major big brands in Australian pickleball that refuse to to sponsor Australian tournaments now. Ever wondered why? It's because tournaments don't provide any services to them. They just take their money, and that's it. Tournaments, please. This is something we all need to improve on, because there's only so many times you can burn big companies before it will seriously come back to harm Australian pickleball. So, onto the media within Australian pickleball. So what else can a tournament use, beneficially? Obviously, videography and photography are a big one. I think having just shots of your events or video clips, whatever, massive. Tournaments. If you're a club watching this, you should have a Facebook and an Instagram account, straight up. Get it done. Even if you're someone who struggles with technology, in your committee, give someone a subcommittee role of social media. It's simple. The reason is, let's use open sports, for example. How do people know about your sessions? You promote them on social media. That in turn, it's all relevant, right? So you got social media, broadcast, photography, videography. It all combines into one big thing. Once you get all of your platforms going, and it just becomes a consistent a habit, if you will, it doesn't matter who is in your committee, your club will continue to thrive. Brisbane Pickleball Club, I'm going to use them as an example. They have one tournament a year. They used to have several, but now they've just gone to River City Classic, which I'll be broadcasting. Super proud of it. That tournament has had steady increase. Their club is booming, and it's had steady increase. Their social media pages just continually tick away. They continually promote their events when they're playing. They have constantly got pictures and videos of their clubs playing, etc. It's so important. And you may have seen, as I bring up Pickleball Australia, recently we had a video from PAA that was actually surprised me. It was they were a little bit aggressive. Like, hey, we're not the weird sport anymore. It's time to act. We are not, we're here to stay, if you will. If the very top are giving action, like, hey, it's time, we're going to ramp up now, then why won't your club? Clubs just really start using media better. And I really hope you'll see just the continuous growth of other tournaments that do use media. Just hop on Pickleball Brackets. You can see it all there. Gradually, and I'll have things popping up as we're going along here, but gradually you will find that the tournament itself, the money that you'll earn from it, far outweighs any expenses. I'm going to leave it at that. I've got another amazing video that I'm going to be filming this week, but I've just had a couple people flick me messages like, should we do a tournament? And hopefully this provides you a little bit of detail, a little bit of data behind why we do it. And hopefully we just continue to see tournaments getting streamed. I would hate to see a day where we go back to no broadcasting. I don't think it's going to happen. I think a lot of tournament directors are far too smart for that. But there are the occasional ones that just don't want it covered because they think that it's an immediate revenue cost. It's going to take a little bit out of their big revenue. That's a mentality that is unhealthy for your club and unhealthy for your committee. Either way, Dylan here, finishing up this, I guess, rather aggressive video. Normally I'm a lot more positive, but obviously when it comes to broadcasting and media, I will always defend my fellow broadcasters and commentators and my fellow media staff. So thank you. Give us a follow. And I look forward to seeing you next week when I do my next video. Cheers.